Going extremely fast isn't as easy as you may think. It may not seem like it, but air is thick and unforgiving, and the faster you go the harder it is to get through it, and breaking the 300 miles per hour barrier becomes even tougher. From the moment Carl Benz built his patent motor wagon, with nearly 0.7 bhp and a top speed of around 7 miles per hour, we've been trying to build faster and faster cars. It took almost 40 years before you could buy a car capable of reaching 100 miles per hour. After that, more than 60 years elapsed before the first 200 miles per hour production car. And just 30 years on from that, we're talking about a 300 miles per hour car. In the early 90s, Ferrari F40 became the first production car to reach the 200 miles per hour mark. Later, the British manufacturer McLaren launched their pristine supercar known as the McLaren F1, which took the records to new levels by reaching 250 miles per hour and held it for almost 12 years. After that, we have only seen automakers building faster cars, and fast forward to the present, they are now trying to reach the 300 miles per hour barrier, like the Bugatti Chiron Super Sport 300 Plus. In August 2019, Bugatti topped the formerly reigning Hennessey Venom F5. Not only that, but the Chiron Super Sport 300 Plus also became the first ever hypersports car to exceed the magical threshold of 300 miles per hour on the track. The final record was 304.773 miles per hour, with racing driver Andy Wallace at the wheel on Volkswagen's Air-Elysian test track in Germany. The Chiron Supersport 300 Plus bodywork has been extended and aerodynamically optimized for extremely high-speed performance. And under the hood lies the iconic W16 8.0-liter engine, which now delivers an output of 1,600 horsepower, exceeding the Chiron by 100 horsepower. Limited to 30 units and with a base price of about $3.9 million. This very special edition of the Chiron is visually and technically inspired by the record-breaking vehicle. Created by Gerard Shelby and designed by Jason Castriota, the SSC TUATARA is a hypercar unlike any other. It is the culmination of over a decade of research and development to produce a road-legal, high-performance vehicle capable of delivering an inexplicable driving experience. The TUATARA success lies behind its mid-engine 5.9 liters, twin-turbo 7-speed and 1,750 horsepower producing monster, which weighs just 1,275 kilograms, and does 0 to 60 in a blink of an eye. After a much publicized and highly scrutinized initial top speed record run in October of last year, when the TUATARA hypercar did claim to achieve an average top speed of 316.1 miles per hour, and after a lot of speculations, SSC realized that the depiction of the speed run, in video form, had been substantially incorrect. On January 2021, SSC went back on the tracks for another attempt, the world's fastest car run, and announced a new top speed record for production cars at 282.9 miles per hour with its TUATARA hypercar. The TUATARA hit a two-way average speed of 282.9 miles per hour, using 2.3 miles of a 3-mile runway at Kennedy Space Center. The first northbound run registered 279.7 miles per hour, while during the second, the TUATARA hit 286.1 miles per hour in 1.9 miles. SSC still plans to attempt to break the 300 mile per hour mark, extending its own record and becoming the first production vehicle to reach that speed. The long-awaited 300 miles per hour plus, all-American hypercar is finally here, thanks to the auto-tune giant Hennessey. For anyone not familiar with John Hennessey, he's the man who's spent 30 years modifying trucks, muscle cars and supercars to bursting point, culminating in the Lotus Exige-based Venom GT, which grabbed the world's fastest car, going back in 2014 with a 270.49 miles per hour run. For years, Hennessey has been trying to beat Bugatti and others to create the world's fastest production car, and the Venom F5 was all that they were waiting for. Built around a UK-built carbon fiber tub, and weighing a total 1,360 kilograms, just 30 kilograms more than a Ferrari F8 Tributo, and yet it has over 1,000 bhp more. The F5 is powered by a rear mid-mounted 6.6-liter twin-turbo V8 called Fury, that produces over 1,817 horsepower at 8,000 revolutions per minute, and 1,192 pounds-foot of torque at 5,000 revolutions per minute. Making it, for now at least, the most powerful road car engine in the world. The Venom F5 claims to have a 0 to 60 mph time of 2.6 seconds and a top speed above 311 miles per hour. The F5 aims to exceed 311 miles per hour on a two-way validated speed run, using a production specification car. The GPS data and uninterrupted video footage will also be made publicly available, following the speed test in the coming year. Hennessey plans to build just 24 of these hypercars, 12 for the United States market and a further 12 for the rest of the world. All 24 Venom F5 production cars will be built in Sealy, Texas, with a price tag of $2.1 million. Koenigsegg does not require any introduction when it comes to building high-performance hypercars. It was about a year ago when Koenigsegg announced plans for a 300+ mph version of the JESKO. A hypercar which had already surpassed many cars with its ultimate top speed, demanded an even faster version to be built. The JESKO Absolute is, after all, a top-speed special. It makes the same power as last year's JESKO, but where that car was a road-legal track special, the Absolute trades the handling bonus of extreme downforce for the sleekness of speed. Note that the regular JESKO's massive wing is gone, replaced by two vertical fins that the company says are inspired by an F-15 fighter jet and improve high-speed lateral stability. What's not different is the powertrain, which does carry over from the larger winged JESKO with no changes. It's a 5.0-litre V8 fed by two turbochargers that produces 1,600 horsepower, but now with the aero revisions the JESKO lines to achieve the Absolute's 0.278 drag coefficient, that allows it to reach a top speed of 330+ mph. Koenigsegg said their 1,600 horsepower machine will go down in history as their fastest production car ever, as none of the future models will attempt to steal its top speed crown. Christian von Koenigsegg estimates the JESKO will embark on a top speed attempt this year, and he's not concerned about whether the tires will withstand such extreme velocities. For now the 330 miles per hour top speed only lies in theory, just waiting to change history.